Today's meeting or address shall focus on the party's internal elections, including developments regarding the just ended polling station elections held across the country from February 19 to March 5th, 2022. We also will use the opportunity to outline the rules and regulations for the next phase of the internal elections, which is the conduct of the party's electoral area coordinators elections as approved by the National Council at its meeting of January 27, 2022. The party so far is still monitoring the conduct of the polling station elections held across the country. We have observed with grave concerns and revulsion the pockets of disturbances, including some cases, verbal attacks and physical confrontation witnessed in some of the constituencies. Without mincing words, the party once again condemned all such unfortunate acts and misconducts which have sought to bring the name of the party into disrepute. As a disciplined and law-abiding political tradition, we expect all our members to use the party's laid down grievances and dispute resolution procedures to seek amicable resolutions to their grievances, rather than resorting to such unorthodox means which only brings embarrassment to all of us. Beyond the dispute and grievances procedure enshrined in Article 4 of the party's constitution, the party, in issuing the rules and regulations for the conduct of the polling station elections, incorporated detailed and comprehensive redress mechanisms for aggrieved party members. The party provided in the rules and regulations that no interested party member should be denied access to the purchase of nomination forms by the polling station elections committee, and where same is denied in gross violation of this express rule, that aggrieved member may, through a petition, purchase nomination form at the regional or national secretariat of the party. You also recall that in some cases, time for opening of nomination has not even reached. Members started agitating for them to be given forms. I think that these unfortunate instances is not correct, and we condemn such instances, and we've instituted investigation in most of these areas that these things occurred, and the necessary sanctions by the party will be meted out to such people who misbehaved. The party made adequate preparation for the exercise and also made available nomination forms. At least 25 nomination forms were sent to each polling station across the country. So the argument cannot be made that there were shortages of nomination forms, but the desire on the part of some party officers and members to honor these rules and regulations in breach rather than in observance. The party has also commissioned internal investigation or investigative processes in respect of these disturbances, and also persons found culpable shall be disciplined in accordance with the party's regulations. In the specific case of disturbances witnessed at Formina, including painting of the party office with NDC colours, the party takes serious view of this gross misconduct, which is not only reprehensible but an affront to the very dignity and existence of the party. Accordingly, the party is taking immediate steps to expel all the persons behind this ungodly act from the party, of course, through due process. The point must be made that the party has not yet decided on the modalities for holding polling station primaries in Formina and the other 9 constituencies where polling station election primaries were suspended owing to one reason or the other. You remember that in announcing the rules and regulations, we suspended about 10 constituencies including Formina. So we've not yet opened nomination in Formina. So in Formina, for instance, the party is yet to take a decision on the date of opening nomination, date of vetting, date of publication of vetting results, and date of holding the polling station elections in that constituency. This will be done and communicated in due course. That being the case, the party certainly did not and could not have sent nomination forms to Formina for the conduct of the elections, let alone to have handed over all such forms to the independent member of parliament as alleged, which then erroneously formed the basis for the disturbances witnessed at the constituency, including the painting of the party office with the NDC colours. Like I intimated, all those behind this untoward act will be dealt with severely. Because we've not opened nomination in Formina, so there's no way anybody could have given forms to even the party at the constituency level, not alone giving it to the independent candidates. So it is false information that party members depended on false information to misbehave the manner they did, and the party is not going to take that matter lightly at all. It is also worth making the point that the national executives have also been holding meetings with the members of the polling station election committees and MPs in constituencies where there are issues which have been brought to our attention, with a view to resolving same. Where it was established that members of the election committee had not acquitted themselves as required by the rules and regulations, the party is holding them accountable, and in some cases we have directed a complete overhaul of the committee ahead of the electoral area coordinators election. In some of the constituencies that we recognize that there are challenges, in some cases we've held on. There are about 3 constituencies in the central region that we've held on. There are some 4 constituencies, 2 constituencies in Upper West, and a few constituencies in the Ashanti region, some few ones in Eastern region that we've held on. You understand? So these are the processes that we are going through, and there are some of them that we've been able to bring them on the table for us to resolve, and they've gone back to do their work. You see, the challenge we are having is that the moment there is a little altercations, now that we have the social media platforms available, the pictures and the videos are taken, splash it out there. Maybe days after or even minutes after the issue is resolved, nobody takes those pictures after the issue has been resolved and send it out there. So it is in the minds of people that the party is in closings, the party is in disarray and all that. I can assure you, and it is instructive to make that the point, that much as we observe some pockets of disturbances and ugly scenes were witnessed in some constituencies, which the party condemns unreservedly, the process across the country was largely successful. Indeed, out of the 263 constituencies where polling station primaries have been held, we have seen this worrying development in some 15 constituencies, sometimes in just one polling station in the constituency. And the impression is created as if the whole nation or the whole 275 constituencies are having challenges. On issues of injunctions, those ones we have nothing that we can do as a party. We are a law-abiding political party, and we are going to go through the process. And like I said, the party is currently conducting investigation in these constituencies, and where situations so demands, we may order a rerun of a polling station election in the affected constituency, in which case we may send people from national to supervise the process. The party has also given direction to the various chairpersons of all polling stations and electoral area coordinated election board to submit a comprehensive report detailing all what transpired relative to the conduct of the just ended polling station election. And we're expecting that these reports from the chairpersons of the polling station electoral area coordinators election committees will reach us for review before we allow them to conduct the next phase, which is the electoral area coordinators elections. As earlier published by the party, electoral area coordinators elections shall be held from 18th of March to 20th of March 2022. At this phase of the internal elections, the party, in order to increase access to nominations, has resolved to upload the forms for the electoral area coordinators elections on the party's website for interested members to download for free. Forms can be downloaded through the link newpatriotic.org/mpp-4. So you go to our website. When you go to where the forms are available for download. But in addition to that, we are sending 5 hard copies per electoral area to the polling station elections committee. This is an election of just one electoral area coordinator. So we are sending as many as 5 nomination forms to them. If for any reason you were unable to reach out to the polling station elections committee, or for whatever reasons, you can still download the forms on our website for you to be able to fill and return or submit the form. It is at the point of submission of the forms that you pay the 50 cedis nomination fee to the elections committee. So I think that I will repeat our website again and the link, so that everybody, that should not be the first point of call. If you want to contest as electoral area coordinator, go to the polling station elections committee. Dates for opening nomination will be made available, and we are giving 5 forms per electoral area. So we expect that an election of one person, you should be able to get 1 out of the 5. If for any reason you are unable to get it, you go to the link newpatriotic.org/mpp-4, and you get the form there. The form is boldly displayed there for any member of the party who want to contest as electoral area coordinator. Let's quickly look at the rules and regulations for the conduct of the electoral area coordinators elections. With reference to Article 5(4) of the MPP's Constitution, that provides that the polling station executives in each electoral area shall elect the electoral area coordinator, as well as Article 8 on the guidelines for the operations of the party at all levels. The following rules and regulations have been made by the National Council of the MPP for the conduct of the party's electoral area coordinator. And I must add that as part of the rules and regulations fashioned out of the National Council, we've said that we are maintaining the existing electoral area coordinators. Constituencies must not be adding per the Constitution, where you have 10 polling stations makes 1 electoral area, unlike that of the Electoral Commission's demarcation. We are saying that for purposes of clarity, consistency, and the fact that at this election time there's tension and all that, we are maintaining all the existing electoral areas as demarcated by the party. We are not adding on. Later in the course of our party's operations, if National Council sees it wise or think that it's important to quickly look at our Constitution, that aspect that talks about 10 polling stations based out electoral area, we'll bring a directive to the constituencies and the regions for that changes to be made. So that point must also be noted. The electoral area elections shall be held from March 18 to March 20th, 2020, as noted already. There shall be constituted a polling station and electoral area elections committee to oversee the organization of electoral area coordinator election in each constituency. I must state that that committee is still in place already. The polling station and electoral area elections committee shall be constituted as follows. I'm only repeating what you know, just for purposes of emphasis. 1 rep representing the regional party appointed by the regional executive committee shall chair. The constituency chairman, the constituency secretary shall be the secretary, the constituency research and election officer, constituency council of elders chairman or his or her rep, constituency council of elders patrons chairman or his or her rep, a constituency IT officer, the member of parliament or his or her rep, and an elderly woman appointed by the constituency executive committee. For the avoidance of doubt, the polling station electoral area elections committee that supervises the just ended polling station elections held from 19 February to 5th March shall be the same committee that shall supervise the conduct of the electoral area coordinators election. But for some few constituencies that we've had cause to change the chairpersons of the polling station electoral area coordinators, all the others are the same committee members that will continue to organize this all important exercise for the party. The committee shall be responsible for the supervision and conduct of electoral area election across the constituency within the scheduled dates, that is between the time allotted and at a venue to be determined by the committee. No member of the polling station electoral area elections committee shall be eligible to contest in the electoral area coordinators election. A polling station executive who seeks to contest for the position of electoral area coordinator shall first resign from his or her position before you be eligible to contest for electoral area coordinator. If you've already contested and won as polling station officer, you only have to first resign before you can contest. Just as I've said, and I'm repeating, application forms shall be acquired from the electoral area elections committee for free. However, upon submission of the completed nomination form to the elections committee, an applicant will be required to pay to the committee a filing fee of 50 Ghana as agreed on. And I've also said, and I'm repeating, nomination forms can also be downloaded from the party's website through the link newpatrioticparty.org/mpp-form, as well as all the official social media accounts of the party for free. However, upon submission of the completed nomination forms to the elections committee, the prospective aspirant shall pay a filing fee of 50 Ghana cedis. No prospective aspirant shall be denied access to purchase the application. And in this case, if you are denied access for whatever reason, you still can download it. And no prospective applicant shall be refused to submit their forms to the elections committee. Where a prospective a prospective aspirant shall be a known and active member of the party in the electoral area that he or she seeks to contest. You can't be in another electoral area and decide to go to a different electoral area to contest. It should not be allowed. An aspirant shall be nominated by one person and seconded by 3 registered members of the party, all of whom shall be in good standing and party members of the particular electoral area. 3 passport-sized photographs shall accompany each application form, as provided for in Article 5(4) of the party constitution. Persons who are qualified to vote in the electoral area elections shall be the respective polling station executives within the electoral area, as well as the current electoral area coordinator. If you have, say, 15 polling stations under one electoral area, persons who are qualified to vote for one electoral area coordinator are the just ended elected polling station executives in that 15 polling station, plus the existing electoral area coordinator. They are the ones who are qualified to vote for the electoral area coordinator. For identification purpose, voters shall use the party membership card, but where same is not available, national ID card will be admitted for purposes of vote just for identification. The constituency IT officer, who is a member of the committee, shall, under the supervision of the other committee members, under no circumstance should we have one IT coordinator arrogating the powers of the entire committee to himself or herself to be keying in the results of the election on his own. So we are stating that the constituency IT officer, who is a member of the committee, shall, under the supervision of the other committee members key in the details of all the elected electoral area coordinators into an electronic system that the party has developed and made available to the various constituencies. We have this in place already. As we speak now, a good number of the constituencies have downloaded, key in and downloaded their results of their polling station elections. We have copies at the regional level, we have copies at the national level. So after this election, we expect that, led by the constituency IT coordinators, they will again do same in order for the various hierarchy of the party to have access to the results. The details of all the elected electoral area coordinators entered into the system shall be electronically transmitted to the IT directorate of the National Secretariat. The constituency IT officer who effected the data entry shall print the hard copy of the entries and submit same to the polling station executive, the electoral area code, for the necessary verification. A hard copy of the verified data entry shall be lodged with the regional secretary of the constituency secretary and chairman of the committee for onward transmission to the national secretariat. So in addition to the electronic transmission, we will expect that hard copies of the album will be deposited at the constituency, region, and at national. All the data entries and the pastings of the photographs of the electoral area coordinator shall take place at a designated constituency collation center to be decided by the polling station electoral area elections committee. The following schedules shall be observed in the conduct of the elections. Opening and closing of nominations. Tuesday 15, we are opening nominations on Monday 14 to Tuesday 15 March 2022. We'll do vetting Wednesday 16th March 2022. If there is any appeal, we'll look at it on Thursday. Then the election will begin on 18th to 20th of March 2022. The prospective aspirants who feel aggrieved at any point in the process must exhaust all available internal dispute resolution mechanisms in accordance with Article 4 of the party's constitution, and the decision of the National Executive Committee shall be final in this case. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, the party wishes to appeal to, first of all, to the various electoral area elections committees to ensure a level playing field for all members interested in the electoral area elections. They should rise to the occasion and vindicate the confidence that has been reposed in them by, among other things, adhering strictly to these express rules and regulations, which are meant to ensure smooth rollout of the electoral area or latest elections. The party equally wishes to appeal to each rank and file who may be aggrieved in the course of the exercise to use the laid down time-tested grievances procedures of the party to seek redress. This is the only party we have, and we owe it to our forebears and our conscience to protect and defend the good name of the party at all times. It is the only way we can show that we are loyal and patriotic members of this oldest political tradition in Ghana and West Africa. Before I end, I also want to commend party people for the enthusiasm that we've seen in this exercise. The zeal and the will of party people not to allow due processes to also be trampled upon. So you can see in some of the cases about party people's willingness to stand up to ensure that the processes and the rules of the game is adhered to by officials of the party. And the level of enthusiasm is wonderful. It clearly tells you that the New Patriotic Party still and continue to be one of the best parties, not just in Africa, but in the world. And when we go to our sister meetings, we are the toast of these meetings with those democratic processes that we are exhibiting. No party, and I repeat, no party has gone as far as we have gone to make sure that we democratize our process, to make sure that all and sundry who have supported the party over the years are given the opportunity, and the willingness by them to avail themselves to work for this party is exemplary, and I believe that we will encourage them to continue to do so in a manner that will ensure peaceful coexistence and cordiality amongst our party people. Let us do this right to all in the supreme interest of our beloved party and for the love of God and country. Thank you very much.